Some folk are born made to fly the banners, oh, they're red, white and blue. And when the bard plays hey to the king, oh, they point the trebuchet at ye, Lord. 'Tisn't me, I ain't no nobleman's kin, nay. 'Tisn't me, fortunate I ain't been, nay. Some folk are born silver spoon in hand, oh, don't they help themselves, Lord. Yet when...
Hello everybody and welcome to another 3B Radio live stream actual play... Alright, I was getting better at this. Game. Tonight we... You know, I went like 2 weeks that I didn't mess it up. And I think it's just I'm nervous when Julio's around.
That's it.
So, tonight we're playing Unfortunate Sons, which is our Game of Thrones set actual play, where we use the Warhammer Fantasy RP rules to properly simulate the brutal and unforgiving nature of the Game of Thrones setting, where Markas has already almost bled to death. Rolf nearly lost a limb. Everyone else has been doing pretty okay, though. Right? We did have Mid light someone's head on fire and rapidly end an encounter that should have been slightly longer. But before we get into any of that, though, let's go ahead and introduce our cast. First up, Joe, up in the top right-hand corner.
What's up, everybody? I'm Joe. I play Markas Storm, leader of the Unfortunate Sons mercenary unit. We basically travel the land, making a name for ourselves, collecting money, fame, fortune, and other ne'er-do-wells that want to join us.
They're like Pokemon.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we have Mid.
Hey folks, I'm Tom. I play Mid.
Mid
is a lovably demented jester who supports Marcus's goals to grow his own house, find fame, fortune, etc. And he occasionally lights people's heads on fire.
More often than I'm really comfortable with, he lights people's heads on fire.
It was just once.
That's correct.
It's not my fault you lack the openness for new experiences.
Next up, we have Julio.
Hey everybody, I'm Julio, and I'll be playing Roderick Harlaw, who is a very salty, very old, very grumpy, but overall, a nice old guy who is here to teach these youngsters about the wonders of a religion under the drowned god who blesses his followers with many, many wonderful things.
Scurvy.
And yeah, he's here to guide Marcus in his path in order to become a champion of the drowned god.
All right. Next up, we have Leslie, who is not here yet, but Leslie plays our lovable street urchin Frag, who started off their life as a starving, underfed thief, and has somehow ended up as the scout for a mercenary company, where primarily what they scout is the kitchens. Last but not least, we have Rich, down in the bottom right.
Hey guys, I play Rolf, the apothecary / maester, or maester apothecary. Anyways, I try to keep these guys all mended while trying to keep myself from getting the ability of losing limbs myself. So I can throw a sword, but I do like to heal my friends. So.
Perfect. All right, so during our last adventure, or our last episode, which would have been 2 weeks ago now, and I'm very sorry for that, we had the Unfortunate Sons became part of a ship's crew to try and catch and detain pirates. After successfully managing to sink several vessels and find pirate outposts, they found more information which they passed on to Davos Seaworth himself, so they no longer had to deal with being on the ocean, which everyone except for Roderick hated. After that, they spent a long time traveling back from Storm's End to their own burgeoning fortress, which needs a name at some point, by the way, which is what you guys see on the map right now. Right now, before we get into our next mission, the Unfortunate Sons are going to have 1 month of downtime where they're kind of figuring out what they're doing and what they're trying to work at. If one of you guys want, you guys can let viewers know what we got on your map, or we can just get right into what you guys want to be doing with yourselves.
Sure.
Man.
I need to mute my mic when I do shit.
All right, so the biggest structure is the barracks. Lots of beds. If you zoom in on the left room, so to speak, you'll see lots of our stuff there. Like you'll see Mid's flute, his spear, like a pair of armored boots, which is for me.
Okay, that's impressive.
A shield. And I put a bunch of cookies and like food on what's her face, Frag's bed, and then Roderick and what's his name, Ragnar. They have like the two beds next to each other, and if you notice, there's like beer and stuff between the two beds hidden, like contraband. So. Then you got the apothecary, which is to the bottom left, which is Rolf's. The stables, which is to the north of that. Mid's little stage is to the very south, and then we have some crops to the top right.
All right.
The northeast.
Perfect.
This is awesome.
Thank you.
So I totally forgot what Thorsten's token looks like, so he's not on the map right now. So this is...
I cannot move my token, by the way.
Say again?
Just a heads up. I am not able to currently move my token.
That's weird.
Not that it matters yet, just saying.
And for what it's worth, this will be a work in progress type of map. So as we play and as we build new structures, I'll put more stuff in it. And, the paths will get muddier and it'll look worn and lived in, and I'll build up the palisades more, put guard towers, et cetera, et cetera.
That explains so much. I put you guys all on the map layer. That's why you couldn't see anything. Don't mind me.
I'm not a map. You are a map.
I can see it.
Well, no, I had to turn off dynamic lighting, and I couldn't figure out why.
For such a useful feature, I hate it so much.
I just don't use it.
If
there's enemies around, I just drop them in the place they need to be when they get there.
So I use
Unless
a lot of the GM layer so the enemies are hidden, but I also like to hide line of sight so people aren't metagaming with what they're seeing on other character screens.
Well, yeah, if it's like a dungeon, that's one thing.
So you guys are happily out and about on your land, which actually your land is quite a bit larger than this. This is just what you guys have settled so far.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, I think my video is frozen. Can you
I
tell
can't
me?
hear you.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
It is frozen.
Okay.
It's okay. You're not frozen with a dumb face or anything.
Actually, I have the most badass smirk of all time, but I
It's
might
like beatific. You have like your hand on your chest. You're like about to say something very deep.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with Mid. What are you doing for the month that you are the downtime? Remember that Warhammer 4th Edition does in fact have specific downtime actions that you can take, in addition to just making shit up as we go along.
I begin it's like these weeks are not clean. How I'm spending my 4 weeks. This is what I'm doing along the course of 4 weeks, not like week 1, 2, 3,
Right.
4, etc. Mid's a jackass, so he's beginning to promote the fact that there's going to be a one-man performance on the stage that was erected. Everyone's like, why is there a stage? So he's just letting folks know, like, there's like 8 people here, like not a lot of people. But he's letting folks know that simultaneously. I am working on my sparring with Marcus and whoever else will raise a practice blade against me. I will likely probably promote my one-man performance along with the recruitment of folks to the Unfortunate Sons. And I'll practice my writing when I'm not doing the rest.
Okay. All right. So the only ones there that are actual downtime actions are the training and the recruiting. Do you want to do... So you can only do training once, which gives you that ability to flip a roll.
Right.
And if I remember right, you need to make a weapon skill check to have that active.
Yeah, I have to pass some kind of weapon skill check. I'm not sure if I can do the same type of training thing for other characteristics or abilities.
You can, but only if you're certain... give me 1 second. I am going to tell you right now.
Acrobatics, my acting, and my horse riding are all things that I am doing throughout the course. Like, I'm training with my horse. I'm sparring. I'm going to give a performance. I'm doing public speaking. So
we'll do for the performance. What we're going to do is we're going to have that be income. You're going to generate some monies there.
okay.
Training. No, that's not it. Okay, so combat training can be done by rogues and warriors. Do you remember what your career was? Not the entertainer, but the.
So comically, I was a busker, and now I'm actually an entertainer under entertainer.
Okay, so you're actually not allowed to do combat training
Lies.
because I think you count as townsfolk or whatever.
Well, my GM gave approval for it last session, so.
I mean,
Or other-
your GM is absolutely going to give approval for it again. Come on now.
Sweet.
But plus you have a knight as a friend, so he would train you regardless of what they.
Yeah. So you're actually
To hell with Sigmar.
for future reference, what you are, so that you know now, is
Amazing.
a ranger, which means that
Yeah.
you can do combat training.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. The other thing you can do is a thing called specifically for your class is called the latest news, which means that you can take a gossip test. If you succeed, you find an interesting rumor, and for each SL, you add additional rumors.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll let me stack that on top of everything else, though.
Well, like I said, only 2 of the things that you picked were actual actions. So we can make the 3rd one income, and the 4th one be find a rumor.
Okay.
All right. So let's do your first week. What do you want to do with your first week? I'm gonna do everyone's first week, and then I'll come back and do the second week. I know that all of them are intertwined, but what
Right.
are you focusing on in the first week?
First roll, let's do combat.
All right, dale. It is combat training will be a very simple and straightforward melee or ranged skill.
Cool. I am pulling up my character sheet because for whatever reason it closed, which was unfortunate. And you can't see my dismay since I'm stuck smirking. That wasn't even intending to be a pun, but I like it. Good job. You, me, I don't know. Combat, spear, and submit. Yeah, I did that.
All right, so you have that training. You might want to mark that down somewhere. While I do somebody else's week, drop from the call and then rejoin the call.
Yep, my intention exactly.
Marcus, because you were the one training with him, he cup checks you with that critical failure. Completely unintentional, right? But you totally get cup checked while you're fighting.
That's fine.
Conveniently, you do, however, wear full plate, and so it's not terrible, but it still ain't pleasant.
Bing.
All right, next up, Marcus. What would you like to do with your time? Do the same thing Mid did, which is where you're giving me all 4 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty much doing the same thing he's doing for the combat and the riding training thing.
Okay.
So I'll do the train where you can roll, the dice one way and flip it for both combat and the horse like he wants. So it's 2 weeks.
I think you can only do. Hold on, let me double check to see if you can do.
Is the eye back? But my image on Roll20 is still frozen despite me not being frozen. So you might just want to remove and re-add my image on. Sorry, not Roll20 on Twitch.
We still see you frozen.
Yeah, I still see you frozen also.
Oh, I'm not frozen on mine. That is bizarre.
Oh,
All right.
wait, you just reset.
There you go. All right, we're good now. All right, so there isn't one for riding, Joe. But you can do it for ranged, and you can do it for melee.
All right,
For melee horseback fighting or whatever the hell he has.
I'll allow that. Two different melee trainings. That's fine.
No,
Since as a warrior, you don't get any other class dealies.
all I do is hit things.
What you do is you hit.
Jeez. So
sorry, I'll Jack, before I left, I heard that I cup checked Marcus. I would never do that. We're trying to establish his house. I'm not threatening his coins in any way.
It was absolutely not on purpose. He walked into that shit. I don't know if you saw what he rolled.
Yeah, I saw.
Got straight netted. All right, so
It would have been a body shot, but he jumped to get out of the way.
if my character sheet would reopen, that'd be hot.
Okay, so the first thing you're doing is melee training. The second thing you're doing is melee training. The third thing you're doing is recruiting, and the fourth thing you're doing is.
The third thing I'm doing is training the troops because I figure if any of our guys want to use shields in the future, I'll get them like a head start towards it because shields save lives in this game.
Shield save
Like, they let you block long range attacks, and they're great.
All right, I like it.
So,
All right, so go ahead and give me your first roll.
I would love to.
Who are you fighting the first time?
I would assume mid, just since he wants to do it anyway, right?
All right, that sounds good.
Unless anyone else wants to, but like I said, my character sheet is not opening.
All right, if you
I'm
don't
gonna
mind,
restart roll 20.
All right, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and roll for you,
Yeah, that's fine.
and we'll just say that you're doing training with the dummies.
So
Hey, we're not dummies.
About our troops.
You are successful, so with your basic melee, you're good. All right, next up we have Roderick. What are you doing with yourself?
All right. So,
Again.
considering that I, what you're gonna say something?
Yeah, again, give me the 4 things that you want to do. That way, if anybody has any issues or any conflicts like that, you guys can work together. And then we'll do what you're doing the first week.
Okay. So, first of all, would it be possible to do kind of like prayer training, kind of like combat training, where you get to flip the things, but like with prayer?
So probably not. You're a warrior.
Well, I'm
He's
a
a
priest.
paladin, bro. Come on.
Yeah. So the class endeavors for you are just combat training because your outside thing is called warrior, and there isn't even one that you could do as anything else that helps you with that. You can research some lore and some other stuff like that, but no, nothing like that.
He's a paladin. You should allow it.
Hold on, I'm looking into the priestly stuff.
I'll give him one of my weeks to train with him, just to give him bonuses, but not actually gain anything from it, if you allow it.
Well, no, I let you guys roll. Like you rolled with.
I am
mid,
going
and was
to
fine.
I am going to combat train as well.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see if it would be possible to do it with prayer.
So it's not going to be possible to do with prayer, but what you can do is try and give yourself a bonus on your first prayer.
Okay, I'll go with that.
So the way this is going to work is that you are going to make an offering to the drowned god,
Cool.
which will be a prayer roll. And if you fail, you may gain sin, but if you do not fail, you'll gain +10 on your first prayer.
All right. Well, how big a bonus would I get if I sacrifice someone?
Someone?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I mean, you can do what you want. Just don't tell me about it.
depends on who we
What Marcus don't need to know, you don't need to know.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna like spend some time by the seaside and commune. Let's see how this goes.
Critical fail. Nope.
Critical success.
Jeez.
Is that a critical
and gives
success?
you
I don't know.
a fist bump.
That is a critical success, yes.
Excellent.
So as you're sitting there, an octopus actually crawls out of the river.
The fuck?
That's not supposed to be there.
And it sits with you as you do your prayers.
What the river puss?
I pet it.
It spits salt water at you
I'm blessed.
and then swims away.
I am so blessed right now. This is everything. Like, my faith is
You're like,
emboldened.
Why the fuck was there an octopus? That's not even.
It was a blessing.
So I've said that occasionally Mid will watch as Roderick prays, like he spectates but he does not participate. Is this one of those random days where I'm watching him or no?
Yes. Let's go with that.
Mid, when you're done, because he won't interrupt. Like when you stand up to walk away, Mid walks goes, "What the fuck?"
Roderick's gonna put his hand on Mid's shoulder and say, you just bore witness to the Lord blessing me so thoroughly. I have rarely felt this blessed.
But what the fuck?
Oh, I know. I know. What the fuck was an octopus doing in the river? I don't know, but it was for me. I could not be happier.
But what the fuck? Let's look at you. Look at the river. Looking at you. Looks at you. Looks at the river. Looks at you.
Mid is now worried about rivers as a whole. He's like, that's not good.
Mid's like, I have to go write in my father's diary. I will return. He walks away. And for the first time in the history of Mid being a character on this program, he doesn't have a fucking word for it. He has 3 words for it, which are what, the, and fuck. But
In that order.
he wouldn't even change the order. Like fuck the what doesn't make any sense.
So another thing that I did with my my XP is that I got the invoke talent. So now I can invoke a miracle on behalf of the drowned god.
The bigger spells or whatever.
Yeah, I can fuck someone's day up. You know, depending on how well I roll for prayer, which should be good now that I have this little bonus coming up.
You know, you'll get one good one.
Oh, absolutely.
I am moderately
So I better not waste
disappointed that this game has this awesome Wrath of the Gods table,
He never used it.
and he just doesn't let me. He just never did.
Because the drowned god is blessing me, man. I'm doing what he wants me to do, which is to conquer and to slay my enemies and to spread his word, pay the iron price, and convert others to my faith, which I'm doing pretty well at. So I'm gonna say that this is me being blessed
I mean, it's fair.
by the drowned god.
All right. So your actions are going to be pray week 1, train week 2. What did you want for 3 and 4?
Proselytize week 3. Just hold mass, listen to people's problems, smack them around for them. One of those tough love things. And week 4, what do I want to do week 4? I guess week 4, I'm going to try my hand at river sailing because it's I do want to eventually go into the river warden career. So
I like it. That's actually perfect. I like it. All right. So next up, we have Rolf. Rolf, in addition to the normal things that you can do, because you're an academic, you can increase your reputation, or you can research something.
Well, definitely got to be researching because I have a nice apothecary that I can do all the research that I want in. So
Okay. So you have 4 weeks. Would you want to spend 1 week on research?
Yep. So I guess that with a level 2 physician, I can do surgery and things of that nature. So I think anatomy would be really a important thing for me to learn.
Okay, sounds good.
I can't pull anybody in to test my theories on, although that would be fun. I think medicinal.
You can steal corpses.
That's true. We could steal corpses, although they wouldn't heal that very well. But we could practice. I could practice on them. I think maybe working a little bit on medicinal herbs and tinctures and things of that nature. I'm just thinking of where I could actually be beneficial. But last and not least, I think I should probably teach myself how to cut people's hairs and trim beards. I mean, isn't that what a physician does?
Okay.
Yeah,
Pull
that's actually a
teeth.
great idea.
I like it. Okay, so here's how we're going to... you gave me what you're wanting to do, and
Yep.
I am going to tell you what you're going to end up doing. So,
Okay.
So the first one is going to be research.
Yep.
The second one will be crafting. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to craft some healing drafts.
Yep.
The third one will be to make yourself some money.
Yep. Yeah, I do need to do that. By being a barber.
And then as the fourth thing, I'm going to say that you're going to try and increase your reputation as you're trying to get your next ring for all the things that you're learning.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely. But doing the first 2 or 3 is going to be what's going to help me on the 4th, anyways. So,
So, which one would you like to do first on this first week?
I think probably let's make the money so that I can then go buy some of the stuff that I need to actually make the tinctures and so on and so forth.
Perfect. So go ahead and give me a heal. It's heal roll.
Okay.
Okay.
Marginal.
Boom!
That wasn't bad. I like that your heal skill is so high that a 58 is still a success. So go ahead and roll 4d10.
4d10. Doo-doo. Should have had that open, but I didn't.
All right, so you make a total of 24 silver stags in your
Sweet.
endeavors, which will absolutely help you in your other endeavors. All right, so Frag,
Yeah, absolutely.
you guys notice that Frag is just not about. Frag is like in the woods, learning the areas, and if Frag is not done before we're done with all of this, I'm going to give Frag a point in rural stealth that they've been lamenting not having, but they're not going to get the chance to figure out what they want. All right, Mid, we're on to week 2 with you.
Yes.
You said that week 2 is going to be your recruiting week?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you head out to the nearest town.
So I was doing recruiting anyway. I might as well just go with him.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Get us both done at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds good. You guys work together for this. So you guys go ahead and you head out to the nearest town. And while you're in the nearest town, how are you guys going to recruit? Like, find a town square, whatever, and...
Soapbox, homie.
All right.
I could just sit there majestically on my horse while he talks.
So I imagine you guys actually recruit in very different ways. Whereas Mid goes and he speaks to the common folk of the town, you go and you actually speak to the warriors.
Knights and stuff. Yeah.
So, Mid, how would you like to try and convince people to join the Unfortunate Sons?
All I gotta do is talk the truth. You know, start off with some humble-ass, peasant-ass motherfuckers. We're getting fucking missions from House Baratheon. You know, I talk about, you know, what we've done, what we're accomplishing, how we're giving gold back to the community to try and, you know, help out orphans, and, you know, we've helped move some farm folk out of a dangerous area to sort of produce goods for the local area and all that nonsense. All I got to do is just talk that good talk. Like, I don't have any lying. I don't have to craft a crazy speech.
It's true.
That is true.
Be genuine.
So, it's going to be a public speaking role.
Yeah, it is.
And I know that you have, like 10 times the normal public speaking or whatever?
It's 5 times. So, essentially, I influence success levels, I think, times 5.
Okay. So the way this is going to work is it's going to be base success levels is how many people you actually recruit. If that makes any sense to you. Normally it would be divided by 5, but you're multiplying by 5, and so we end up even.
Yeah. Sweet. Also, just for the good of being a humble individual, I only have 3 fortune points because I overspent last, so I did not go back up to full for this session.
Okay.
Hey, Frag is here.
Hey, Frank, welcome back.
Hey
y'all.
What's up?
All right, so you managed to recruit 2 nameless peasants to the Unfortunate Sons.
Their names are Eric and Tim.
Sure, whatever you want them to be. That's not my problem.
Seemed like a good name for nameless peasants.
You managed to recruit yourself 2 nameless peasants who are getting generic ass tokens right now as we speak. What would you like them to be armed with?
Sorry?
What would you like them to be armed with?
I get to choose their weapons. One's going to have a glaive.
Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase. Some basic stuff that they came with.
I say at least one has a crossbow because crossbows are deadly as fucking this.
I will say a crossbow and
I do think that ranged people are most definitely beneficial at the moment.
they're also generally speaking out of harm's way. We're going to say a crossbow and a Kusarigama.
Oh, what?
Which I barely held a straight face for. You know what? You know what? One of them has their father's bastard sword.
All right, I'm done with that. So you have a great weapon wielder and a crossbowman.
Right.
All right, I like that.
Kusarigama, by the way, is a sickle at the end of a chain with like a weighted end on the other side. It's a ninja weapon.
It's kind of not very
No,
Yeah.
actually, it is a peasant weapon.
Yeah,
It
'cause they
is
use it for the fields.
sickle with
to-
a chain on the end.
You spin it to cut wheat faster.
Yeah, but I meant like we're kind of
Yeah, no, I fucked the region. Big time.
All right, so your crossbowman is actually a woman.
Sweet.
And
Excellent.
Wait, can the woman be the great sword wielder?
Sure.
Let's just flip gender roles. We already have a female crossbow wielder.
All right, sure. And
Hey man,
Is
cocking a
the female
crossbow.
named Eric or Tim?
Eric. Eric is the woman wielding the great sword.
Really?
All right.
All right, that's fine.
Cocking a crossbow requires some major upper body strength, so it's I wouldn't say it's a gender role thing.
That's true.
And there's your crossbowman, who is vaguely foreign. All right, so you managed to recruit 2 new people, and they're over there, and they'll be in their bunks. So Frag, we're doing the what everybody is doing at the moment type thing. We went through their first week. I had you out training and scouting and whatnot.
Yes, absolutely.
To gain you some like stealth while out in the jungle and forest.
Yes, because she is Frag's definitely more familiar with urban environments, and getting more outside work would also be, a thing.
So go ahead. You can spend experience points if you want, and put yourself 1 point in rural stealth. Rural stealth. What a
Excellent.
what is it?
Rural juror.
Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Somebody's at the door.
Dale.
Give me just a couple seconds. I apologize.
We'll do that.
It's not me. Right?
Unforgivable.
All right. So Mid manages to recruit 2 people. Marcus, you're trying to recruit something more. You're trying to recruit a cavalry person.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of those, do we?
I basically ask around to see if there's any knights within, any roaming knights that are not landed or beholden to any lords in the region at the moment.
So you go ahead and give me a gossip roll to see how you do on this.
All right.
As-
And what the hell that would be?
Gossip is a basic skill, I think.
Oh, there it is.
See, I'm not crazy. So you're asking about at the bar, and someone's like, I haven't seen any like homeless knights. That's not really. That doesn't make sense to me.
Homeless.
But as you're saying that, a man walks up, and he says, "I'm not a knight. I'm not homeless, but I'm a warrior who owns my own horse.
Fair enough.
What are you looking for?"
Just the start of a cavalry unit for a mercenary company that I run.
Interesting enough. How does it work? What's the offer here?
But you get paid to adventure alongside us. If you come out on the main contracts, you get your fair share. And, it goes by negotiation. What I can negotiate, you get your share of whatever there is. There's no, like, I get more, you get less type of thing. Unless it's, like, a drastic difference in, some skill set wise. And then if you're not contracted to the main contract for whatever time period, you're allowed to go out and do your own thing. You can use the mercenary company as a way to provide yourself work, or I can try and find you extra. We have a base. We have plenty of gold at the moment to share around, so you'll be well taken care of. And we're definitely sponsored by some well-to-do people. Name drop Selmy and what's his face?
Davos?
Stannis. Stannis. I mean, I was knighted because of Stannis, so it's like I'm not just some random knight, no apparent reason. Like Stannis actually took like some sort of like acknowledgement in me. It was like, knight this kid.
All right,
See where he goes.
so he listens to you. Marcus isn't the most like charming, fellowshipy person out there, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you a +10 to the roll because you did hit all the important notes there.
All right, what do you want me to roll?
It's gonna be charm, but
All right.
if you have like a leadership skill or something similar to that, I will allow you to roll that instead.
Well, with the +10, I got it. So
I like it.
I nailed it.
So you go ahead, and he says, "You know what? Fine. You seem to be a good enough man. I'll give you my services for 2 months and see if it's worth my while to stay."
That works. Like, there is no contract, really. I mean, you can sign up, but if you decide to leave for a reason or another, you know, I'm not gonna put a sword to your throat and say, "No, you signed up for a year. You have to stay." Like, me. Like, none of that stuff.
He's like, "Oh, no contract. Okay." He seems weirded out by that, but he's like, "Okay, sure." Which
Like, there's a contract for your like guarantee of being paid so long as you're in service to me. But if you have to leave because of an emergency, or you just find that it's not your lifestyle, I'm not going to make you come out and fight alongside me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I feel.
See,
Like, I'm not gonna
everybody's
hold you
technically
to it.
freelance. That's how we get away with giving them no benefits.
Exactly. Everyone's part-timers, so I don't have to give them 40 hours worth of work.
Fucking everyone is a 1099.
That's what we mean by flexible hours.
So the real thing is, and the reason he's weirded out by it is because at this point you're essentially creating your own house, and so people expect you to expect fealty.
Well, yeah. I mean, I expect him to be loyal, but I mean, like, say he goes out to the middle of the battlefield and he kills someone and he just can't hack it. Like, he's just like, "No, this isn't my thing." Like, all right, dude, go back to what you gotta do. I'm not gonna hold you to it. If he was a knight, like a full-blown knight that has already, like, you know, proved himself in battle, then I would make him sign a contract. But he's just some random dude with a horse. Like,
Okay, all right. Like I said, it may be something for you to think about. This guy, you notice that he probably has some experience. He's wearing leather legs, a metal breastplate. He's definitely a warrior in his own right.
He's basically a lancer. Like, he's not really a heavy cavalry, but he's heavy cavalry adjacent.
Right. Which now puts you guys up at 4 horses that you have in the fucking in the base. So thank God someone built a stable. All right, so sorry about that. That took a little longer than expected. Roderick, what are you up to?
I already did my downtime stuff, and I guess I'm just hanging out.
Well, you did one of them, so now you have to train. Who are you training with?
Well, if Marcus is available, I will train with him. If not, I guess I will train with whoever is available.
All right, Ragnar's going to train with you.
My boy!
It's your boy, Ragnar.
My boy.
I was gonna say, if you want to wait till next week, I'll train with you, because I was out recruiting this week.
All right, let's go. What do you got?
I got a great axe.
He's got an okay axe.
Yeah, his axe is better than mine.
So he beats you in the combat, but you're still successful, so you will get to do your... Jesus Christ, your target number is 79?
Why is my target number 79?
Oh, because both you and him are sitting at way too much advantage.
Oh. Oh, yes.
So what we're gonna do?
Oops.
Well, that's. I mean, it's even. It's the same.
Well, right, but it means that his roll is unsuccessful, which means he will not get to do the.
Well, that's why he has 14 points.
Sad times.
That's why he gets fortune points.
That's exactly why he has 14 points.
Do you want to use a
that's
fortune
actually
point
a good
training?
point. I am going to use a fortune point for this.
Idiots.
Dale. Come on. There we go.
All right.
Because theoretically, this whole switching a die like number is better than a fortune point, right? Like, because you're
It
guaranteed
has-
a success. Like, if you do it the right
Potentially.
way.
Yep.
Potentially, because you can
Like,
do
if
it
you roll a
after.
91, you could switch it to a 19. It's like bam.
It's like bam herpes.
It's like bam, herpes. Exactly.
And,
I mean,
fortune
unless-
points regenerate, so...
I mean,
Or
unless you
roll
roll like a
countries.
99, then you're in no good shape at all, right?
Yeah. But that's when you use a fortune point instead, you know?
Yeah, there's so many options. So many options. All right, Frag. So
just slap the book. There's so many options in this thing.
you have 3 more weeks of what you want to do. Do you want to tell me what it is that you're working on, or do you know what you want to do? As a rogue, you have the ability to do study a mark, and that's it. So you can find someone to, or you can try and gain some money, or you can make yourself something, or you can invent an entirely new thing.
So if I could do like the whole study a mark thing, because that would be something intriguing and useful, especially if we're trying to work our way up the totem pole, is how she thinks it works.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me that.
They would definitely refer to Marcus and like how does this lordship thing work? Because like who am I to focus on? Is there someone I need to like, off?
All right.
Or cod piece or figure it out? Like they don't know how it works.
Give me a perception test. Perfect. While you're in town, you see Alistair Green Mountain, the night that you guys had your the issues with back in the beginning of time.
Literally episode 1.
This guy's literally a piece of
Oh,
shit.
that guy!
Yeah, he's the one that like body checked me on the first day, and I was like, "Oh, you're an asshole."
Oh, the guy. I know the cod piece.
Yeah, he's literally the cod piece.
He's literally the cod piece.
All right, so you're gonna go ahead and you're starting to follow him. You see that he's created himself a small manor, but that he doesn't have very many servants. Would you like to try and break into his home?
Ooh, that sounds like lots of fun to create this guy some nonsense, because he did try to range some people to ambush us. I remember that. So yes, some vengeance, and to stick it to him.
Be careful, Frag. Be careful.
I mean, I am one of the few unfortunate sons that actually doesn't wear colors, because I don't care to be bright and, all over the place.
Noticeable.
So I want to be as less noticeable as possible. So I don't have all of the crazy shindig on me.
You know, help
So
see.
am I rolling what? Stealth urban?
Yes. Okay, so you have managed to get right up to the back door of his house. And while you're there, she you see that he's got one kitchen servant and only one house servant. But they're getting ready to serve dinner. So you kind of have a choice here. You can try and do some second story work. You can try and break into the house from another end. You can try and just sneak in through the kitchens. Are you looking to steal something important? Or are you looking to...
Papers are always good. And papers where the ravens are. I know papers are important, because I've learned that you may not be able to read them, but I know they're important. So I'm going to try to find some sort of office and just take papers.
All right. So let's go ahead and give me a climb roll as you work your way up a trellis to the second floor.
That.
Jeebus! So you managed to get up there silently and without any issues, and you are now peering. You managed to have chosen, with that critical success, exactly the window to the office, and it's open. So you roll into the office quietly. You see that the door is currently closed. You hear Alistair speaking to his servants downstairs. He's obviously a jerk to them.
Death.
But you see his desk, and on his desk there are 3 separate sheafs of paper that have been tied together.
I mean, if they're tied together, it's just perfect to just stack.
Now, you're pretty sure that you can take one of them without very much difficulty back down the climb. 2 will be slightly more difficult. 3 will be very difficult.
Okay. Well, I'll at least take one. And if there's any sort of like coinage area, I'm going to swipe a few.
All right, so go ahead and give me a perception check. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you try and find some money. No, you don't find any money.
I like the number though, so I'm not gonna do it.
Nice. You don't find any coins, so you pocket a letter opener.
Yeah.
This is like, fuck this. You put it in your belt. So you climb back down and you head back to and you head back to camp. Give me one last urban stealth roll to see if they catch you as you're leaving the yard area.
Well, I'm going to do that one.
Screw that. Oh. Double screw that.
Oh boy, that's worse.
Okay, so as you're walking out, you see the kitchen boy is bringing out some like the scraps to throw them away. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
I was just taking a piss.
That boy ain't gonna say shit.
Somewhere off the distance in a field, and it's like, my heart. What has happened?
So go ahead and give me a charm roll. Or sorry, it's deception in this game, right?
There is charm. I don't know if there's also deception.
There is no deception.
It's charm.
So it's just charm. So go ahead and give me a charm roll.
How much bonus are you giving her for this brilliant comeback to like?
He's like, well, if you're gonna piss on the master's stuff, make sure to piss on those roses over there. Those are his favorites.
Oh, that's good to know. I'll piss over there.
He just like throws away the scraps and goes back inside.
Okay, and I'll just halter up. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a couple of flowers for me.
He's like, you know what? On second thought, I'm gonna.
And then piss on the others.
Yeah.
Okay, so
piss on others, take some, swipe some flowers for me, and be like, yes.
Roderick. No, we did Roderick already. Rolf, what are you doing today? Crafting. What did we say? Crafting, reputation, or research? I know that Frag is a hard act to follow as far as successful nonsense.
Thank you.
I was taking a piss.
Research. Here we go.
All right, research.
Oh my god. Okay. Maybe I shall use a fortune point for that. Because 90 is no good.
90 is bad enough that I would have totally given you false information that Rolf would then believe is real.
Yeah, no. Let's not.
87, however, is still bad enough. Frag used all the good rolls. So, you have found out.
The water is what?
No. That salt stitched into wounds is good for surgery.
Oh, great. Thanks. I appreciate that.
I mean,
It actually
will
is.
help with some bacteria. Yeah, it's just painful as fuck since we lack anesthesia.
Lack of anesthesia.
That's why the salt water helped.
Foreign objects. Whatever. So you're like, yeah, that's good. That sounds good.
All crushed up finely, so that it's not chunks, but
Fine powder.
It's just like
fine. Just just grind it in that mortar and pestle and go. Now this is gonna sting, but it's good.
Just
Done.
so. The next time you do surgery, it will do an extra wound to the person, and then you'll figure out better. All right, so back up to the top. Marcus, we're starting up on week 3. What do you got for me?
I was planning on training our troops in shield wall formation type stuff.
All right, well, now that you have extra troops, that's definitely a thing that we can work on. So
Yes.
let's go ahead and. So that's your sword lady. That's Xander. That's your crossbow.
Also, Frag, when you get a moment, since I made this map, if you look in the leftmost room in the barracks, if you zoom in, you should be able to figure out which bed is yours.
Yes, I love it.
All right, so there's your gun, and then Frank, and then mid, and then John. So there's your shield formation. There's your wall formation. Just for my own personal entertainment. Do we have a leadership skill in this again? I forget.
Yes.
Yeah, high leadership.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll leadership, and if you are successful, I will... Perfect. So when you go to do a leadership roll during this next adventure, while you're leading your troops, you will get plus 10 to the roll.
I know.
For spending some time with your boys. All right.
Probably put that down.
Yeah, you should write that down, because I'll forget. Someone will
Oh, I
forget.
know you will.
All right, mid. What is your third week looking like?
I'm not sure if I want to do the horse trading or my performance. I'll do the horse trading. So I'm going to do my best to start practicing some advanced maneuvers on my male horse. For the purpose of just, I'm a squire, I should get better on a horse,
Okay.
etc.
So what I'm going to do for this endeavor is there's actually an endeavor called animal training. So what I will say is that you're working on training the horse so that it works better with you.
Well, you already know that I have a psychic connection to my horse, because I absolutely roll 3s on rolls to communicate with it.
Which is fucking hilarious to me.
Because my animal handling is ass. So there's that.
So the way this works is, if you are successful, so you're going to do an average animal training, so it's plus 20 to the test. And if you are successful... Say again?
Is there animal? Am I supposed to use ride or? Because I don't think there's an animal training thing.
I'm actually reading it from the book. There is actually an animal training skill.
I don't have it.
But that's okay. You get plus 20 to this roll. So,
Okay.
it'll be a fellowship roll. If you are successful, you will get to add a trick that the horse has learned.
I'm gonna fortune point that. Ain't nobody trying to break a leg.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That number.
Oh, God.
All right, so you can go into the rule book. Page 343 has the different things you can teach it.
Understood.
And so you,
And before we move on, Frag, I plan on giving a performance at the end of week 4, and for any spectator, my performance a sash with a removable tag on it. If Frag wants to make a game out of stealing every spectator's tag, you can practice your thieving on all of our fun folks and prank everybody.
I absolutely want to do that.
Sweet. That's it for me then.
all right, perfect. So you guys see Mid and his horse just running around in circles throughout this encampment and through the woods, and he's jumping and doing acrobats, and the horse is becoming part of the routine, which is interesting to watch, but also very, very fun. So Marcus and Mid are done. Oh, sorry, guys. As you guys arrive home on one of the nights, you guys see Frag giggling to herself, and she's carrying a large sheaf of papers.
Hey guys, papers are important, right?
Someone cod pieced.
Papers are important, right? Who can read? And she'll just shove
I
it
actually
in
can
mid.
read now.
She'll just shove it into Mid's arms. Like, what's this say? What's this say?
So Mid, you open it up and you see the first thing it says is "Dear Alistair Green Mountain."
Jesus fucking Christ! What the fuck?
What?
I walk over, look at the name, and just start laughing my ass off.
Well, yeah. Hi. What?
But what the fuck?
What's wrong?
I look
Will
at the
wonders
papers,
ever
I look
cease?
at Frag. I look at the papers. I look at Frag. I stare at Frag. I look back at the papers. I look at Frag. I go, but what the fuck?
What do you mean?
What? How?
They
Where?
were just laying
What?
around.
Why?
They were just laying
What?
around in his locked house, in his locked office.
Where were they laying around?
In his office.
In his what? Yeah. What? This
Yeah.
motherfucker has an office?
Yeah. And then
We're
she'll
building
kind
you an
of
office.
they'll
I got an
they'll
office.
kind of go over and be like, so I followed him here to this place, and he has this house manor thing, and there's not really many people there, and I was like, why is the window open? So I was like, all right, so I climbed up to go close the window, and then it was like, oh, there's papers there. It was like, oh, that looks cool. Maybe you shouldn't leave it laying around. So I just was like, okay, and then I needed to pee, so there's a dude that recommended I go pee in these flowers, which they smell really nice, by the way. See, and so I went to go pee. Oh, and then I came home.
I said, can I see that flower?
Yeah, here.
I grab the flower, hand Marcus the paper, say, you read it, and I fall over just straight flat, slammed against the ground, with a rose pointing up.
Like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong? Are you
I start
okay?
giving him last rites.
So kind of kneel over and kind of pat my head like, hello.
When was this? I know I felt a disturbance.
This was.
There was that day I was by the river and I had heart palpitations.
Oh.
So,
Wait, is that good?
Marcus, go ahead and roll me a
read the
d10.
papers, yeah.
Roll me a d10. Perfect. All right, so you start reading it, and you notice that it is in a flowing script that you recognize because you've
boy.
had notes written to you by this person.
It's Triss, isn't it?
It is Triss. It is discussing hiring Green Mountain and his men to protect some fields not far from Summerhall.
Oh boy.
Huh? Is it good?
like-
Is it good
oh.
papers? They're good?
Oh yeah, you did very good. I pat her on the head.
Yeah!
I reach into my travel bag and find some tarts or something to feed her. Here you go. You run this.
Kronk, absolutely.
I'm like Mid. I know you're feigning death, but you need to read this.
Hey, wake up!
I pick up the piece of paper. I go, what the fuck? And I look at Marcus, and I look at the piece of paper, then look back at Marcus, and I stare at Marcus, look at the paper, and go, well, what the fuck?
Hey, this is good. I did
So-
good.
Not even
Why are you
calling
waiting?
me
Why
a
are
shit.
you
He's
sad?
not loyal.
Are you sad?
Doesn't seem like he's no. You basically have proven that Alistair Green Mountain could possibly be a traitor to his
Well-
lord.
Well,
Is there any defining characteristic of Triss on this paper? Or is it just her handwriting that we recognize?
So,
I mean, I recognize it. I still have the letters that she sent me.
so it is actually signed Lady Triss.
So we have to, like, get this to fucking sell me.
Sell me, yeah. Definitely.
Wait, who's Green Mountain's sponsor? Like, who's his fucking...
Who's the one that knighted him?
Yeah, who's he a lapdog to?
He was actually knighted by Selmy. He's one of Selmy's bannermen.
We trust Selmy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one that had me knighted.
All right, well, he's not going to like this, but we have to get it to him.
Yep.
Do we want to do it at Raven or do we want to do it in person?
Oh no, this is definitely a in-person thing.
Okay, I was going to make sure.
Though I would, if you can,
Do you
copy
do you guys want to take your last
copy
week of
letter.
downtime and then go to Harvest Hall?
Well, I'd have to rush the performance, but I can give it before we leave.
Okay. All right, so let's do our last week of downtime, and then we'll go to Harvest Hall. Roderick, what are you doing on week 3? You said you were proselytizing.
Yeah, I'm spreading the word.
All right, so I'm gonna use the rules for foment dissent.
Sounds good. I mean, technically, that's what I'm doing. The prevailing religion here is the 7, so I'm kind of being a little sneakster now.
So go ahead and roll a D100.
Decian. Ooh, that's not great.
Okay. So now give me a charm roll.
Ho, ho, ho. No. Oh, no.
Oh
This is
no!
Wonderfully.
There he goes.
So as you're like the fire and brimstone and salt water and ash and the sea spray and the leathery face and spitting in the eye of the storm god, you see a man in homespun robes
Am I gonna fight a Septon? This is gonna be great.
with a star medallion walk up to you. He's got a cudgel in his hand. He says, "You know, in these lands, the only religion is the 7.
The only religion?
Which
Boy.
which makes you a heretic."
Nothing would please me more than to be someone who pisses you off.
So you are ready for it, right? You're like, I see this coming.
Oh yeah, I came here to fight. I knew that shit was gonna go down.
I'm gonna use the stats for a goblin for this guy.
Goblin stats.
Goblin stats.
We'll use the goblin stats for frag.
You would be very accurate.
Oh, I know. I forget where you said, but one of the first sessions you basically said that frag was supposed to be a goblin.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
this was
so-
a few weeks ago.
Go ahead and defend thyself as he raises his cudgel against you.
Alright, I'm gonna fucking grab a cudgel of my own, something big and burly.
And cudgelly?
Yeah,
Cudgeling.
like his cudgel, but like at least twice as big. So
We don't have to have a cudgel measuring contest.
That is exactly what's going on. It is a cudgel measuring contest between two priests.
and I'm going to fortune that.
Well, you block. You're fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, because he's attacking me. Never mind. Yeah.
Yes. So it is now your turn to attack him.
You veiled by lust.
It is time for me to cudgel.
It is time
Time for me to
cut.
do the cudgeling. Do I get an advantage for blocking the cudgel?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Aha! Fantastic. I'm just gonna swing as if it was my axe. Fuck it.
Dale.
Toma!
Whoops!
You did a thing. Holy.
Well,
Wow.
If talking didn't win me any converts, this sure as shit will.
So
The octopus comes out and trips him.
Wow.
Knocked the belief into him. That's the
Nation
problem.
says left arm, right leg.
it does actually. How does that work? I don't know.
Cuts him from the left arm
It's
to
a
the right
1-2
leg.
thing. Like,
So, essentially, he throws that first shot, you duck under it, and then with the full force of a Shoryuken, you come up and catch him in the jaw, and he falls backwards as he takes 20 damage from a cudgel.
And he now worships the drowned god.
Hey,
He now worships the drowning in his own blood god.
Exactly.
Fucking-
For the blood god.
One of the peasants is like, what is dead can never die, and like walks away hoping not to get hit.
yes, yes, exactly.
Meanwhile, the septon is completely Not septon. The what was the term for those assholes?
He is a septon, no? Like
No. The poverty-ridden followers of the.
Of the sparrow.
Like those
I
Would he have been
forgot.
around 5 years?
he was vaguely around, right? He was not yet a phase.
There's always extremists, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, I'm going to plant both my feet to each side of his head and kneel down and get real close to his face and be like, I guess the warrior doesn't really fight by your side as much as the Drumgut does by mine, does he? And give him a couple of taps right on the cheek,
At this point, you see the town guards are on their way.
and I book it.
Look, the Faith Militants were around long before the High Sparrow. They were just a sort of a de-established order. So I'm sure there's still one or two pricks running around that, believe they're Faith Militants, etc. But the Sparrow sort of resurrected them, was actually allowed to officially, which is significant.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
I knew that they were around in some form. I just couldn't remember exactly what. So, Mid, are you in town? No, you're doing your thing. Marcus, you're not in town. Rolf, you're in town talking to people to gain your reputation up this week. Can you please roll me a d10 to see if you were in the general region of this nonsense? Yep. So you're in an academic's office talking, and out in the street you hear a ruckus, and you see Roderick shoot teeth out of this guy's mouth, and then run like hell.
After teabagging him twice.
I am brave, but I'm not stupid.
And meanwhile, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna roll your charm check to try and gain your reputation. Sorry, it's a challenging heal check.
Challenging heal check.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets a plus 20 for his swing cast apothecary.
I'm sorry. What is going on with my rolls? Guess what?
Oh, are we taking it? Sorry.
I give up. I really do.
He's better than the 95.
Okay, so with the 79,
guess.
you actually managed to just barely succeed, but your standing will remain the same.
I suck in life right now. But what in the hell happened? What? I gotta go find Roderick. I'm distracted at a point of no return. Roderick did this to me.
He just scuttles by like Zoidberg. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I just run back and went whoop, 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 whoop.
So that finishes you guys up. Mid is going to perform. Mid, go ahead and give us your performance. And Frag, you are training your pickpocketing skill, so go ahead and give me your roll.
I didn't put any benches out there, but let's just pretend that there was benches out there.
Just so we're aware, I'm giving Anne the perform trait.
I figured.
And
Plus 10 on perform, entertain, or whatever checks while I'm on the horse.
Okay.
And so I will be doing, to no one's surprise whatsoever, an acrobatic routine on the back of my horse, potentially while playing the flute.
All right, go. Let's see what you got.
Also, and then, so for me, it would be sleight of hand, right?
Yes, it is. Every success level is an extra person who you manage to steal their flag from. You will get 2 rolls. You got half the people in the first one, and 1 more in the second one. So you stole everyone's except for Marcus's and Roderick's.
Did we get any outsiders to come to the thing?
Yeah, you got some extra people to come in.
So the point of the flag is you could place your flag in a bowl if you wanted to donate to the Unfortunate Sons afterwards, and we're going to call out who's the wonderfully giving person who's putting their tag in the bowl. So we're just going to be calling out people's tags despite the fact they didn't put it in. They'll have no idea how it got there, and then be joyously guilted into donating to the Unfortunate Sons.
I'm totally down with that. Give me a charm roll.
The charm roll for the horse or the charm roll for the people?
The charm roll for you.
I have a performance roll.
Performance roll for the performance.
Right. Performance roll incoming, and I get a plus 10 because I'm on the back of my horse.
Yes.
Which is wonderful because it's a harder test, but now it's an easier test. I'll fortune point that because that's, that.
Well, you get a +10 when you win.
Oh, actually, yeah. Right, never mind. I'm not.
It would have been 57.
I'm
So.
good.
All right, so you're successful with your thing. Now give me your charm roll, and I will let you gain 1d10 gold crowns worth of money for every success level on this charm roll.
Jeez.
That I will fortune point.
Oh, really? Okay. All right, sure.
Because, there's no success levels, right? We want gold.
All right, go.
Better.
Yeah, that'll do.
All right. That was a
D10s, huh?
that's 5d10s worth of gold crowns. That'll essentially pay all of your funds for the month that you guys have been about.
Tapping about.
Come on, 50.
We're not. Ooh,
Close enough.
still.
Yeah. All right. Joe, we'll discuss how much you spent because we know that that's all written down.
Yeah. I currently have, hold on. 354 gold crowns, 124 silver, and 7 bronze. You want me to add that 33 to the pot, Tom, or are you going to keep on your character?
No, I'd be a prick to keep that. No, that's company money.
All right. So that puts us up to 387 gold crowns.
I trot my horse down the stairs, give him a massive high five and hug, and walk off, sauntering.
All right.
Also, if you zoom into that top, the left bedroom in the barracks, you notice that Marcus's bed, which is the bottom right one, is slightly askew. You'll also notice there's scratch marks on the floor because he drags his bed back and forth. Because there's a trapdoor underneath it where he keeps the chest with all the money in it.
Okay.
See, you got to put in details in Mass Pro details.
All right. So, how many of your men are you taking with you to sell me?
I'll squad up.
Yeah, you guys gonna show up in force?
I would show up in force. How many horses do we have at this point? And how many? We have at least one wagon and 4 horses, right?
I can steer the wagon and drive the wagon if and pile some people on it.
Yeah. We don't really need to take provisions, right? It's like what, a day or two?
No. Back to sell me is 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will need the provisions.
It's true. I guess we don't have to squat up that hard then. Because it's not like somebody's gonna be like, "You're under arrest." So, at least that's me.
Also, if we roll up with an army saying that this dude,
he might
basically
think
saying
that.
we're going to go hunt him down whether you like it or not.
True.
Which, if we have a reasonable group, then it's a bit better.
That is the current discussion, right? How do you guys want to handle the next step here?
I'll take the main 5 plus the new guy with the horse, so you get a bit of a feel for the place. Since he has his own horse, he's not burdening us by coming
there's
along.
Thorsten. I just found him a token.
Nice. Who's the new horsey guy?
This guy right here. So that's
Gotcha.
that's the horsey guy. This is a 2-hander. That's a 2-hander. That's an archer. That's a dual wielder. That's a crossbowman. And then that's Joe Ellen. See? It's all nice and organized.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you guys are getting ready to head out. You said you're taking the party, right? The 5.
Yeah, I'm taking the main squad plus the new horse dude.
Squad up.
So it's going to be you and Mid riding your own horses, and then the other 3 on the cart, and then the new horse guy, who we didn't name, but you guys can name him yourselves.
What nationality is he?
He's actually Dornish.
Dornish.
Do we trust this guy? Not to be racist, but I was thinking that beforehand.
Say I'm a half Dornish.
It triggered me.
It
Dornishman.
vaguely triggered you. Well,
I found him really, right?
Yeah, he did not come looking for you.
He'll be fine.
It is up to you guys how much you trust him or not. Are you leaving the rest of the crew with any tasks while you guys are gone?
Continue building our stuff.
Okay. What are you guys currently building?
We still need a blacksmith.
Friendships.
Friendship is magic.
Friendship.
All right, so that's the 6 that are going, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are gonna start working. You have them start working on the blacksmith. Perfect. All right.
Yeah. His name is William. Screw it. It's the only Dornish name that I found
William.
out of this. Yeah.
All right, William. It is.
I looked up Dornish names, and it was the only one that wasn't like completely ridiculous.
Oh, we're leaving Xander behind.
You can bring Xander. That's fine. I don't mind bringing Xander.
Xander likes being left behind because he's like, I'm in charge because I'm the senior guy.
Yeah, but that's
Actually, wait, no, I guess he outranks Ragnar.
Yeah, Xander, you are in charge. And I just smile at him.
He's like, hell yeah, look at me, moving on up. Ragnar's like, fucking 3 months I went from being a bandit to being a lieutenant in a
Rolf's
mercenary
bitch.
company.
I mean,
I feel like Roderick's gonna have to give Rolf the talk. Like, boy, when a man and a man love each other very much, they check up on a ship. You gotta be really careful.
When a man loves another man.
I now have the idea that Roderick has a Sean Connery accent. Now you see, Sean.
Now you see something.
So you guys ride out. It does take you 4 days to get to Harvest Hall. When you arrive at Harvest Hall, you now recognized at the gates. People know who the Unfortunate Sons are. Your wagon, Joellen painted a shield with your emblem and plate and attached it to the side of the wagon.
So talented.
And so you guys arrive, and no sooner have you guys gotten through the gates than you are approached by the captain of the guard, whose name was
Cap.
Taryn. He says,
Yes.
he looks at you guys. He's like, Marcus, we weren't expecting to see you guys anytime soon.
I wasn't planning on riding up this way anytime soon, but some unfortunate news fell upon my desk, and I would like to share it with our Lord.
Taryn hears the giggle, and he's like,
Mid leans over to Marcus and says, since this news doesn't paint our Lord extraordinarily favorably, I suggest you deliver it to him with a small company in private, not other lords in attendance.
No, I know. I don't want our Lord to lose his face or anything.
He says, well, Lord Selmy is currently in council. Would you like to wait for him?
I would. I don't want to disrupt our Lord.
Okay. So they take the 6 of you into a separate chamber. You guys have brought food. You guys have brought wine.
I eat, but I don't drink.
Okay.
You know, just because of the seriousness of the situation. I encourage the rest of the unfortunate sons to do what they want to do.
Definitely taking part in it.
So the seneschal walks up and he's like, "Will you be staying the night, or do you have accommodations of your own?"
If it wouldn't put our Lord in too much trouble, I suppose I could stay the night.
So they start making out chambers for you guys. Marcus, Roderick, and Rolf as highborns. You guys get chambers actually in the castle. Mid and Frag, you guys get servants' quarters.
Can I use my old quarters?
Yeah, that's fine. He's like, yeah, we're not using them for anything right now.
I'll vouch for Frag to get her better quarters.
So you're like, no, she's part of the company. She needs better quarters, and he's like, I will arrange for Mid and Frag to have a room in the guest areas.
It's like, no, I'll take my dad and my own old quarters. That's fine.
Very well.
That room is good enough for my father, will always be good enough for me.
So some time passes, and eventually Lord Selmy walks in alongside his wife. And they said,
Well, she's the type of person that would like be fine with the whole like receiving the news, right? Like, isn't she like I wouldn't say a knight, but combat oriented?
she is not combat oriented. She's absolutely a political person.
Okay.
But you know that she is that he greatly respects her, and that she is actually part of running the castle.
Okay.
Um,
I bow and I say, my lord, I'm sorry to trouble you at such an hour, but some news was made. The tactful word for this. Some news fell upon my lap, as it were, and I'd be remiss if I did not share it.
okay. Taryn made it seem like you had something of importance to share with me.
I do.
What has happened? Did you guys bring William in with you?
I mean, he's part of the crew.
I would have thought it was just us.
Yeah, I would have thought it was just the 5 of you as the officers. William
Yeah,
is,
William can stay outside.
yeah, William is attending
Yeah.
to the horses and whatnot.
He hasn't earned that level of trust yet.
Okay.
So I present him the papers, and I go into a short version of how it was acquired.
You admit to stealing from him?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, how else would I have gotten the papers? Like, it's going to come up at some point.
A raven dropped them on my doorstep.
I say a little bird dropped them on my doorstep.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to decide
to work. If we're going to just go.
how you're going to do that. Because you guys did have 4 days on the ride over here.
It's true.
So I'm going to give you an opportunity to decide whether you want to implicate Frag in robbing from a noble or not.
Probably not.
No.
Mid would suggest that I was giving one of the wonderfully inspiring speeches that I do, and someone from his household who wished to remain anonymous placed the paper in my hands.
That works.
I like it.
I would definitely.
Well, we don't have to
support-
say it was from his house. You could just say that someone.
Well, the thing is, I would support that sentiment because there are with the few servants that were there, because there were very few, none of them liked them, or it seems like to me.
Yeah, but I don't want to implicate his servants either. We could say that while he was performing on the street corner, someone walked up to him, handed him the documents, and disappeared. And they were just anonymous. They don't have to be anyone that we could, personally be like, hey, it's this person.
No one I recognize. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So,
And I also present them with all the letters and stuff that I received from Triss, with the the same handwriting and stuff like that.
so he says,
I also highly recommend that we hand him the paper and say, do with this what you will. Don't suggest any kind of
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like.
motherfuckers. Hell, just like, hey, we have this, we found this, we're delivering it to you. Feel free to validate it.
So he looks over them for a moment, and he says, this Triss of Summerhall rapidly becomes more and more of a pain in my ass.
Trust me. I'm well aware of how much of a pain in the ass she is.
He says, it's fortuitous that you've come to me with this. Given the fact that a Dornish mercenary is running amok, we were about to strike out at some Dornish border towns ourselves. And I was going to hire the Unfortunate Sons to do it. However, this gives us a separate issue. She's naming lands in the Stormlands that she's protecting. And so she's claiming our land for herself. Rather than getting in a fight with Dorne itself, I think it's time we strike out at Triss.
That can work.
How strong are the Suns currently?
I mean, Marcus would know off the top of his head. I don't personally know off the top of my head how many we got. So
We rolled d20.
You guys are currently sitting at 12 people,
Mm-hmm.
including ourselves, right?
including yourselves. Yep.
All right, so I'm like 12 total, my lord.
2 nukes. We were at 9 before?
Yep.
And then
You-
the 2 noobs that I recruited, got back in the day?
Yeah. Remember that one of them died.
Yes.
Those 2? No, I recruited 2, and then Thorsten and the other guy, they came from Xander, who recruited them.
Right. You guys recruited. No, this is where we're at. You guys had recruited Joellen and Ragnar. So you guys found Xander, then recruited Joellen and Ragnar.
Plus one of the other dudes. Remember, there was like 2 guys that we recruited, and one died.
Well, right. No,
Yeah,
I'm not there yet. After you got
Okay.
Joellen and Ragnar, you guys did the farm mission where you recruited Thorsten and the guy who died. And then you guys just recruited, what was it, Tim and Eric?
Oh, we also have Aiden.
Awesome show.
The pirate dude. Remember the pirate guy whose jaw we broke?
I did forget the pirate guy who did decide to join you guys, so hold on, I need to give you guys
So we're at 13. I'm counting.
Alright, so we're at 13, yeah. I had forgotten about the pirate dude.
But I also recruited 2 before. This isn't the first time I gave a speech. I brought 2 back then. I never named them.
Oh, okay, well then I'll give you 2 more guys.
And
They
one
were
of them
just
was a
red
blacksmith, right? One of them had like.
Oh yeah, Ogren was the blacksmith.
I do remember that.
Ogren.
I do remember that now.
So we're at 15.
Yes.
So like 15 strong, my lord.
He said
Mostly foot and ranged.
I said that might just do. So that's Ogren, who is who's a blacksmith, but he can fight. And then that's the pirate dude, who also doesn't have a name yet. Sorry, guys. I completely.
The
forgot.
pirate dude's name was Aiden. ADN.
ADEN. Okay.
The blacksmith was Ogren.
I appreciate that you guys keep better track of names than I do.
I only know one, Xander.
He wants to run up in those booty cheeks.
Ooh. Do some healing.
Some healing.
He's gonna earn his brown link. You know what I mean?
Dum-dum.
What was the blacksmith's name?
Ogren.
Ogren. OGREN. Ogren.
One rando from that recruitment. Then we have Thorsten.
Oh, whatever. I need to find another token. I need to find one more token at some point. Anyway, so he tells you, well, we're now at
You
the...
should make the next person the other red shirt. Someone that has a shield. Because shields save lives.
Shields do save lives. That guy. There's your last guy. So there, you're at 15 now.
Sweet.
So, he says, I have managed to discuss... So, based on these letters, there are 3 targets that are possibly... So, there are 3 targets that we could possibly hit. A farmstead of hers. And he points it out on the map.
Mm-hmm.
A tavern that she's using as a recruitment point. Or a vineyard.
Mid leads of the markets and says, hitting a farmstead, kind of her own game. You know, they're just people who are trying to survive. Same thing with the vineyard, probably. If she's recruiting with a tavern, knocking that out's a huge additional benefit.
Okay.
True. I really don't want to catch any small folk in our engagements. That's the problem.
Right. That's kind of why I'm thinking the tavern's probably our best bet.
True.
In that sense. Of course, we can always, pull, what was it, the Brigand of Cockle's Rent, where we say, get the hell out because we're attacking on this date, but generally speaking, that's just a poor idea.
Yeah. Giving your enemy a heads up as to when you'll be attacking is usually. not
Yeah, he
fun,
really
right?
cocked that up, didn't he? So
Yeah.
he pulled
I
the
mean,
ball.
I'll give him a heads up. I'll give him a 5-minute heads up. Either you get out now or you burn alive in the tavern when I put it to the torch.
Or we just burn the tavern and we kill them as they come out.
What happens if the innocents inside? I'm all for kill them all, let the God sort them out, but it's it's our people in there.
I don't know, man. It's collateral. You know, it happens.
I just like listening to you guys like discussing war crimes.
Yeah.
Amit says.
I mean, Frag doesn't understand the difference of it all. Like,
Mint says.
Frag doesn't understand.
I
mean, you could ask.
she doesn't care to.
All right.
Mint says to tell me, attacking a farmland or a vineyard seems more like Triss's game than ours. I think we are better likely to offer the farmstead and the vineyard more favorable terms for realigning their loyalty and showing the goodwill of the Stormlands than by any manner of attack, which will be perceived by Triss's folks and then spread as barbarism. As such, I think a military target is the tavern where recruitment's being held, but we'd also want to go about that the appropriate way.
He says, I will leave the details to you. Do you think that you need additional men?
For a tavern? I assume not.
Okay.
Well, we'd have, depending on how it's being used, we might prefer to scout it first.
True.
But we can always send a raven if we think that we're not entirely equipped. Or hire some folks out ourselves.
He says, well, I will pay you for 20 men. If you use 20, then you use 20. If you use your 15, then you use your 15. You've done good work for me, and I trust you.
Fair enough.
I
I don't even try and haggle with him. I trust him as well, so.
Do you think 4 weeks is enough time for this mission?
How far away is the land that we have to travel to?
A week and a half. So that'll give you a week once you're there to do the work.
And then, yes. I mean, I don't see why it shouldn't unless we come up against like a full-fledged army.
Okay. So that'll be a total of 80 gold crowns. And I'll give you a bonus of 50 if you bring me any of your lieutenants.
Fair
Dead or
enough.
alive?
Alive. I'll bring you 50 if you bring me actual proof that Alistair actually took this contract.
Fair enough. So 80 is the straight pay, 50 for lieutenants, and 50 for proof of Green Mountain being accepted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll add the 80 now. Oh, well, is he paying us straight out now? Or is he paying us
He
like...
is paying you the 80 ahead of time. He's like, you've done good work for me. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
So the question now is, you guys are going. I'm going to switch you guys over to the big map so we can start marking some stuff up and seeing where we're at.
We're now at 467 gold, by the way.
I mean, you guys are making some money. All right, so. God damn it.
Note, if you guys want anything, I don't know if you keep track of the money that you guys make, but if you want something and you don't have the gold for it, ask. Like if you want new weapons, new armor, a shield.
You bought me an apothecary. What else do I need? You know what I mean? You built me at my own place. I mean, I'm psyched. So.
Well, it's the least I could do. I mean, you did save my life along with Roderick, so.
My job.
All right, so on the map you'll see there are a handful. There are 3 little squares. The one in the middle of the 3 is the farm. The one to the south is the vineyard, and the one next to the U of Summerhall is the tavern. By the way, Ashford is the town that you guys tend to hang out at.
Yep.
From Harvest Hall, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hexes to the tavern. You guys travel about 1 hex per day. but you do have to get back and get your people.
We could just send the Raven, no?
You can.
Yeah, I was actually what I was going to suggest is I'm going to write up something and send a Raven back to the homestead and let them know what's going on and to be prepared. Or are we asking them to just come and meet us?
Oh, they gotta go meet us. Right.
Yeah. All right. So, and we'll write it out that they need to come meet us in such and such.
I left them with money, so they can hire their own horses, like rent a horse, wagon, bring themselves over.
And we expect to see them within 4 days hence.
Okay.
Since it's going to take them 4 days. So, for Raven, what maybe be half a day to get them there.
Raven, so it'll be a little bit more than half a day for the Raven to get to
Like a day
to your place, and then they will bring your Raven to you.
Perfect.
As is the way that they handle it. You need to start training one of them to be a Raven handler, just so that they are capable of getting the messages.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll also
Every time they have to get a message from one of the Ravens, it is touch and go to see who's going to lose an eye.
But I will address this note to tell that Xander's the one that's got to get them all together. I'm showing him favoritism.
Okay. Xander, for some reason, the Raven just likes him more. It might have something
For
to
some
do with-
reason.
Tom, you're breaking up.
He just said he'd be right back.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you guys are talking about doing the inn for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are where are you guys wanting to meet? Can you go ahead and mark where you want to set your camp?
I figured they could just meet us here at Harvest Hall and would march out from there.
Okay, that's fine too. I mean, I'm saying for the purposes of planning out this assault and whatnot.
Oh. Well, you said the inn was at the U in Summerhall?
Yeah, you see the square on the U?
Yeah.
And like I said, each hex is 1 day's walk ride.
I'd attack from the east side because it's, first of all, it's 1 hex over, so I don't have to be fully in their hex, and it's furthest away from the other 2 points of interest. So if they're running like scouts or guards between the 3, it's less of a chance of being seen approaching from the east, from the west. Sorry.
All right. So are you planning on making camp and then scouting, or are you planning on going straight in for the attack?
No, I definitely scout. I mean, that's what mid and frag are for, right?
Okay.
That's what I do.
All right. So what?
There's no point in having a scout on the payroll and not using it.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and say you guys are making yourself a campsite there. So you guys are gonna go ahead and make yourself a campsite at that green blob, and you guys are attacking the red one there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alrighty, sounds good. So you guys go ahead and march out. You guys gather all up there. What precautions are you taking for hiding the camp to make sure that you're not spotted?
Well, first of all, we're not lighting fires. If we have to eat, we'll do it further down the road and light it during the day to cook. Okay. Not lighting anything at night.
And
we're
go ahead and everybody go ahead and give me a perception check as you guys walk your way over there.
Perception.
Percepzione.
I'm terrible at it.
That's all right.
Most of us aren't.
I just got back from the restroom. What am I trying to perceive?
He hasn't.
You actually don't know what you're trying to perceive.
What am I? All right. I struck blind.
We don't know what we're looking for. We just set up. God damn.
None of us do.
My perception is mad low, and I'm like, why is it so low? And I realize because I haven't rolled yet. I'm wearing a helmet, so my perception is abysmal with the helmet on. Right?
Yep, that is correct.
Are you wearing your helmet currently? On the road?
I mean, it doesn't make a difference. I rolled a 70 out of it for my target number would have been a 27. So.
All right, so that's fine. You guys don't notice shit. You ain't seen.
We have a group of 10 other people.
All right, I will let you roll for one of your lieutenants.
Nailed it.
So Xander, everyone's favorite,
Especially Ross.
is like, hey, nobody's lived in
So-
Summerhall for years.
Mm.
These roads are very well maintained.
Well, we have had evidence that people were coming and going from Summerhall. We just haven't found anyone there. So
Wait, is
somebody said if they went to attack it, no, and that they didn't find anyone there.
I'm telling you that this looks like someone is actually trying to make this into a settled region again. If I was abandoned, this is a road that I would be willing to post up on.
I wouldn't be surprised if they are in fact using Summerhall as a base. They just didn't figure out how to get to the proper spot that they were using. Like if they have like a hidden way to get in or out.
So
Mid's going to do a knowledge lore roll to see if he can sort of just like go through his notes and his mental Rolodex to see who the previous lords of Summerhall are and why the fuck Triss might claim this is her region.
okay.
Because this is like the second time we've dealt with that type of shit.
Yeah, we still have the wooden coin from Summerhall. The dragon's device on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Nope.
You have no shit.
Well, actually, the opposite. You are certain that because she's claiming Summerhall, she has to be a Targaryen.
No, only a fool would think that. that's granted, I am a fool, but I'm not that kind of a fool.
I'll take that one. So, crazy idea. What if she's a Targaryen?
Well, no, stop that.
What does that even mean?
You know, Targaryens, dragons, former kings.
No, but I mean,
What
so
are dragons?
Mid's like brief history lesson. The Dornish claim, or sometimes will claim Valyrian blood through Nymeria. In fact, remind me, what's the name of the major Dornish family? Because just I'm mind farting.
Martells.
So the Martells are actually known as Nymeria Martells, like legally, but the Nymeria part was dropped because of the fact that one of the Targaryens settled there, major civil war type nonsense, years upon years upon years ago. So I'm like, there's some validity that a Dornish person could claim some Targaryen land and or Summerhall, but I don't know the direct connection. There we go. I backed into me being a proper fool for you, Izzy.
There you go.
I still think she could be. Grumble, grumble.
But I'm kind of agreeing. It's a possibility.
Well, we'll have Mid spit fire on her and see what happens.
All right.
Wait, that's a thing?
What? You've seen Mid spit fire before?
Oh,
We melted that dude's
not bad.
face.
It was just like, wait, what will it do to her? That she
If she is a Targaryen, nothing.
Oh. What?
Allegedly.
Huh.
So you guys, so what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna start winding this down here. You guys are setting up camp. You guys pass within 2 miles of the inn, so that you guys have an idea of where it's at, and then set up your camp. You guys are being stealthy about it. Go ahead and Frag, give me a stealth rural check as a. Do you want to spend your last fortune point on that?
Yeah, I do. Okay. That's a little better.
Okay. So you know, between everybody, you guys managed to do some work there hiding the campsite. You're pretty sure that you're not visible. From where you guys are, you guys can see the peak that Summerhall is supposed to be on.
Fair enough.
All right, so
Does it look restored? I want to know.
you're too far. You can't tell.
So,
You can't tell that much.
if there was lights on, could we see anything?
You might be able to tell at night if there are lights on, but we will discuss that next session.
Yeah, as far as setting up camp goes, I pretty much have them dig foxholes
Right. I get you.
because we're doing the whole under the ground stealthy, under tarps sleeping thing.
Right.
No fires.
All right. So, good session, guys. I hope you guys got the chance to get some more feel for what your characters are up to. Next session, we will have you guys assaulting the tavern. We're planning the assault on the tavern and all of that. And then, soon, we're coming up on the end of Chapter 1. So, I am...
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm pretty thrilled with how everyone's going. I'm starting to get a feel for people. Maybe we'll get some more character development and whatnot in the not too distant future. All right, so announcements. Thursday night will be the first episode of the next chapter of Good Boys, where we start to see Duke's dogs do their thing. And Monday we'll be back with Land of Ice and Snow. So thanks so much for watching. Tonight we're going to be rating Kobold Press because I think it's awesome that they have a Twitch channel. And as always, good night, Gracie.
Good
Good night, guys.
Night, everybody.
Thank you for showing up.
Mhm.